Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll show you how to build a custom kernel specifically for Samsung devices, upload it to GitHub, and even set up automated builds. If you've ever wanted to dive into the world of kernel development or just customize your Android experience, this step-by-step guide is perfect for you. We'll cover everything, from extracting the source code to pushing it to your GitHub repository and compiling it for your device. Before we get started, let's quickly go over the requirements for this tutorial. A Linux PC or a Windows PC with WSL2 installed. Make sure you have a Linux distribution set up in WSL2, like Ubuntu or Kali Linux. Git installed on your system. If you don't have it yet, check the description for installation instructions. In this video, I'll be using Windows with WSL2 and Kali Linux installed as my setup. That's it! Let's get started with the video. Go to Google and search Samsung Open Source, link in the description. If you don't know the model name, go to About Phone. There you can find the model name of your device. Search your model name. After searching, you can find a list of kernel source released for your device. The topmost is the latest updated kernel source released, and the remaining are the older kernel source release. Always download the latest kernel source that is at the topmost in the list. Wait for it to download. After the download is completed, extract the zip. The extracted zip has two compressed .tar.gz files. For WSL2, go to Linux, then Home, then your Hubble username, then Downloads. If you are on Linux, you can skip these steps and go to the Downloads folder directly. Make a new folder. I am naming it Stock Kernel. You can name it whatever you want. Now go to the folder where you extracted the zip. Copy the kernel.tar.gz file to the stock kernel folder. Preparing the environment. Open the terminal on your Linux system. Create a folder structure. Navigate to your stock kernel folder. Create a new folder inside it called Stock. Use the terminal commands provided in the description to navigate to the stock kernel folder. To extract the kernel source, place the .tar.gz kernel file inside the stock kernel folder. Use the command in the description to extract the file. The .tar.gz file will be extracted inside the stock folder. Wait for it to extract. After extraction is completed, navigate to the stock folder. Initialize a Git repository. In your terminal, run git init. After initializing the Git repository, create a branch by following the on-screen instructions. Set the branch name as prompted. Use the git status command to view the current status of your changes. Add all files to staging. Stage all files using git add-a. Commit the initial changes. Make the initial commit with git commit. Create a repository on GitHub. Go to GitHub and create a new repository. Name it whatever you like, e.g. Samsung S21FE kernel. Click Create Repository. Copy the command provided by GitHub after creating the repository. Paste it into your terminal, hit Enter. Then write this command to push the code to your GitHub repository. Git push origin followed by branch name. Enter your username, hit Enter, then enter your password or SSH key or any other way you are using to log in, then hit Enter. The source code is being pushed to your GitHub repository. Refresh your GitHub repository page. You should now see the files uploaded. Go to my repository called Android Kernel Samsung Exynos 2100 and copy the URL. Link is in the description. Use the terminal command to add this as a remote repository. Fetch this remote using the command. Navigate to the Android kernel, Samsung Exynos 2100 repository, and copy the commit hash for Add Build menu. In your terminal, run git cherrypick and paste the commit hash that you copied. Copy one more commit hash and paste it in the command as shown. Follow the steps I demonstrate to resolve conflicts. If you want to know how to add more features into a kernel, let me know in the comments. These conflicts need to be fixed in order to build the kernel successfully. If you have any issues regarding fixing the conflicts, let me know in the comments. If you want to know how to merge Android Common Kernel into a kernel source, let me know in the comments. Once done, push the changes back to your GitHub repository. Push the kernel source again. Update configuration files. Modify config.iml. Then copy the link of build menu this way from your repository. The link should have your username /repository name /branch name followed by build menu. Paste this link into the config.yml file. Save the changes, commit them. Now we need to change the branch name and the link of the repository inside the build menu file. Get the branch name from your GitHub repository and the link of your repository this way. Edit the build menu file. Update the branch name and repository link in the build menu file. Get the link of your GitHub repository this way and paste it into the build menu file. Save the changes, commit them, and push them to GitHub. If you want to know how to upstream a kernel, let me know in the comments. Compile the kernel with CircleCI. Go to CircleCI.com and create a free account. Link your GitHub repository to CircleCI. Watch as CircleCI compiles your kernel. Note, this video is not sponsored by CircleCI. Check CircleCI logs. Locate the download links for the compiled kernels in the logs. There will be two types of kernels: GSI kernel for GSI ROMs only, non-GSI kernel for non-GSI ROMs only. This link is for the non-GSI kernel. Open the link and download the zip file. Rename the zip accordingly. I am naming it G990 E_S21FE non-GSI. This link is for the GSI kernel. Open the link and download the zip file. Rename the zip accordingly. I am naming it G990E_S21FE_GSI. Transfer the kernel zip to your device and flash the GSI kernel on GSI ROMs and the non-GSI kernel on non-GSI ROMs. That's it. You've successfully built and downloaded your custom kernel. If you found this tutorial helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more such videos. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Happy modding!